Garden Lanes in Chicago, Illinois. This is their franchise. They just moved it there this week, and we couldn't go to the one in Garden City because they're remodeling that week. So we're here in Chicago, and welcome to Chicago. It was fun, and we walked here, and that's why we haven't been on the air for so long. But it's just a great being here. We went to the Cubs game, the Omni Edition Cub Scout Corps, and this is this week's edition of the Chicago 1988 official souvenir program. And you see on the front, that's Ryne Sandberg. Now, he plays for the Chicago Cubs. They're the world's best baseball team, aside from the Tigers in the American League. Now, we'll open this baby up. Now, we couldn't find a picture of Wrigley Field, but this is some other ball field right here. And if we would have had a picture of Wrigley Field, if this was Wrigley, say, this week, this is where we sat, back up here in the bleachers. Great seats. Say if this was, I'm getting, what, Mr. Watt? Yeah, this is a seating chart for Wrigley Field. But it's a real seating chart. No, something like that. Anyways, if you flip through here, there's baseballs for lovers only. And 4 guys went with us. And building from within, something that organizations in Detroit haven't attempted yet. There's a picture of Sid Fernandez from the Chicago Cubs. Sid's hitting the ball. Now, that's a score sheet, and Harold Larson kept score for us, but not with this book. That's not Harold's friend. So we'll set that down, and now this is the official order form for things that, if you like the order form, this is the official Up Your Alley Chicago Cubs sweatshirt. This is how to get it right here. And this is my ticket stub from the game. And I scalped it off some old lady who said that she wasn't going to rip me off, and she charged me $15 for a bleacher seat, and I feel like I got my money's worth. So right now I'd like to bring up, all the way from Garden City, Michigan, the challenger this week, Ed Kane Sr. Let's bring him on. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what do you think about Chicago?
Beautiful place. Beautiful place.
Did you enjoy the Cubs game?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it.
That's what your son was saying, but we left him there, and he got you some great souvenirs, so you'll get them someday.
Okay, great. He made it home last night.
So how you been bowling lately?
I haven't. It's summertime.
So your average, you're saying your average is 120, 183?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Well, good luck today.
Okay, I'd like to say hi to Father Don Demmer, pastor at St. Dunstan's.
And how about your son?
Yeah, that's okay.
He's home in Garden City right now.
Working right.
At Murray's Stock and Shelf.
Making a transmission
Making a transmission?
to replace the one he dropped today.
Now, this is actually June, ladies and gentlemen, so he dropped it in June. He's had the car, what, about 2 weeks, right?
That's right, since he put the clutch back in.
Well, thanks for embarrassing your son on TV, Dad. And now, ladies and gentlemen, all the way in from Livonia, Michigan, let's bring him up. Our champion, he won last week. Let's bring him up here right now, Mike Laskawa.
Hello.
Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
So what do you think about this town, Chicago?
It's a beautiful town. Great place.
How'd you feel about that Cubs game yesterday, them winning and all?
It was very impressive. I was amazed.
Did you have good seats?
I didn't go to the game.
How'd you know they won?
Because you just told me. I believe you.
Thanks.
Anyway.
There's a problem here, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't trust me either.
I can see why.
So have you been bowling pretty good today?
I was until they rerolled the lanes.
And has that been a problem for you?
I completely changed my line. I'm not sure where the ball's going to go now. But other than that, hey, anything's possible.
Well, you're in that Friday Friends League, so.
It's an advantage.
And your average is 143. It's been going down.
Yeah, basically.
And you're getting a 37-pin handicap, so I think you got a real good shot here.
Yeah, I should get a good hope.
Was there anyone back home in Michigan you'd like to say hello to?
Just my family and my girlfriend, Heather.
Look at the camera when you say that.
I am. The camera's over there. I'm looking at it.
No, you're looking at me.
I'm not saying it.
Oh, okay.
When I was saying it.
Well, good luck, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, and good luck on the show. Well, when we come back, more bowling here from Garden Lanes in Chicago, Illinois. Illinois? Or is it Illinois?
Sweet home!
From Garden City's Garden Lane, this is Omni Edition's Up Your Alley. Brought to you by King Cone on Ford Road, just east of Merriman. By Geppetto's on Ford Road, west of Middlebelt. By the Garden Lanes on Warren Road, just east of Middlebelt. By Tales and Tapes Bookstore in the Sheridan Square. And by Your Travel Planner, also in the Sheridan Square and all in Garden City. Here now your host, Kevin Kramus.
Welcome back to Up Your Alley right here at the fabulous Garden Lanes. Right now we'd like to have Ed Kane Sr. He'll step up and bowl first. He has a 183 average. Hasn't been bowling much. It's summertime right now. Leagues are mostly over in the summertime, unless you happen to bowl in a summer league. Most people choose not to. They'd rather be outside in the summertime. But I'm sure when the fall kicks around, he'll be bowling again in a league. So he'll start out right now. And he'll knock down half of them. Up Your Alley is being brought to you through a grant from the Garden City Cable Commission, and if you too would like to put a show together of your own, just contact the Cable Commission through Garden City City Hall, and they'd be more than happy to help you put a show together of your own. And he'll pick up one of them. So he'll start out with a 6 count there in the first frame. Brings up Mike Laskawa, 37-pin handicap. Graduate this year of Churchill High School in Livonia. Just an all-around good guy and personal, close, favorite friend of Chuck Scrivener. And he'll knock down 6. I'd like to thank Harry Carey for supplying the food and beverage for the trip to Wrigley Field yesterday. Well, it wasn't free. And Michael knocked down 3 more, and that'll give him 9 on his first frame. So he'll bowl his second frame right now. Last week, Mike beat Heather Burrows, his girlfriend, to advance him to the second round of Up Your Alley. Show's a little different now. Instead of going to Toronto after 6 wins, we'll take the top 5 bowlers in 6 months, in this next 6-month period, and they will bowl off in December for the Up Your Alley Tournament of Champions 2. And the winner of that tournament will receive an all-expense-paid trip to Toronto, courtesy of Your Travel Planner. And he'll leave 2 standing, and that'll give him a total of, his handicap has been added in the first frame, a total of 54 through 2 frames. So it'll bring up Ed Kane Sr. Talked to Lance Parrish of the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday. Used to play for the Detroit Tigers and was lost due to the Tigers not wanting to pay him a lot of money. And he said hello to all you people in Garden City. Also, for you people that are living in other cities and you're viewing Up Your Alley for the first time, welcome to the Up Your Alley Network. Oh, and he picks that one up, takes the hard way, and he'll get a spare there in the second frame. A good line there and a strike in the third frame. So Ed with 36 through 2 frames. Mike with 54. He has that 37-pin handicap that was added in the first frame. He knocked down 4 there in the third frame. A tough combination. Pins are falling in ways that they shouldn't be falling, but that's how bowling usually works. I'd like to thank our crew this afternoon. Jim Ray, always keeping score for us here. Dan York, our director. And there you see Mike Laskawa pick that one up in the third frame. Dan York, our director. Emil Mahanti, one of the famous on-air personalities at WWJ. And soon-to-be sportscaster up in Alpena, Michigan for a CBS affiliate. And Mike Avis. Big congratulations goes out to Mike and Vicki Avis. Just got married about a week ago. And Mike there with a baby split. Okay, so it's a split in the adolescent years, I'm finding out right now. It's not quite an adult split, but won't exactly count for free meals at the Holiday Inn either. So there he is shooting at that teenage split, and he'll miss it. Give him a score of 80 through 4 frames. So Mike with 1 mark, that was in his third frame. Ed with 2, his second and third. Spare and strike, respectively. And now that Ed's found his line, he's hitting the pocket pretty solid. Should be the first week in August, so the Tigers ought to be well into first place and on their way to pennant. .46 for Ed in the third frame. With that strike, spare in the fourth. He'll be knocking them down here in the fifth. And a little high on the head pin, but he'll come out with a strike there in the fifth frame. Just said something about being lucky. It was a good hit. Mike a little low there. He'll knock down 8. Here's a good shot of Mike Laskawa. The concentration on his face, it's just baffling. So he's got a good shot at it, and he'll pick it up there. Mike's thrown here in the 6th frame. And he's a little high there. We're throwing at the 9-10 combination. The 6-10 combination. I couldn't see real well with Mike standing in front of me. And took a good shot at it and just couldn't get it. So 106 for Mike Liskow in the 6th frame. An 8'll drop. One open frame for Ed, and that was in the 1st frame. He knocked down only 6. But since then, it's been marks all the way through. Spare in the 2nd, strike in the 3rd, spare in the 4th, and strike in the 5th. Now grab that one. Still down by 12 pins in the 5th frame. And they'll all fall. They're in the 7th. A little pressure on Mike here in the 7th frame. Got a good line on that. A little lucky there. Almost had a sleeper combination. Throwing at the 8 pin. And turned his hand sideways and threw his arm over and just couldn't get it. Not a clean follow through there. This shot here is supplied by Mike Avis on top of the John Hancock building in Chicago. And a strike there. He comes up with them when he needs them. And in the 8th frame, he comes up with a strike. So 115 to 116 in the 7th frame, but Ed has a strike in the 7th. Seven will drop. He'll knock them down in the 8th frame. I'll give him a 126 in the 7th. There's a shot of the scoreboard, 126 to 115 there in the 7th frame. But as you see there, Mike has a strike in the 8th, and Ed has a spare in the 8th. He'll knock down 7 there. Ed with a 183 average is short 40 pins for his average here in this game. And he'll got one of them there in the ninth. 151 in the ninth. Mike needs his mark here if he wants to stay close. And he got the mark that he needed there in the ninth frame. So here comes his 10th frame. I don't know if you heard it there, but the voice of WWJ, Emil Mahoney, said he's really putting on the pressure. A good hit, but just couldn't get it. He knocked down 8. So 2 strikes in a row. And they're all tied up in the 8th frame. Got a good line, and he'll pick that up. He'll get an extra ball here in the 10th frame. So Mike with a 12-pin lead there in the 9th frame. Possible 183. Remember, it's a 37-pin handicap. Handicap is divided by 90% of the difference between the two averages. And a strike there for Mike Liskawa. 183. Good game, Mike. Ed has a possible 181. Mike Liskawa is our new champion. No, not the new champion, still champion. Ed with a strike there. Ed right now just bowling for a shot at that up your alley Tournament of Champions. So far, 161. A good line there, right in the pocket, and they'll drop. 171 right now. So far, with a 171, he's the top qualifier in the Tournament of Champions, which will be shot in December. They'll also be aired in December. And 181 for Ed Kane Sr. So Mike Liskawa wins one more time. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we'll give away some prizes, so stay tuned.
You know, hanging out's okay. Nothing to do but shoot the breeze and let the day pass. But after a while, you get the feeling there's got to be more to life. And your family starts bugging you to get serious about your future. But when it comes right down to it, it's your life, and you've got to make the move. For me, it was the Air Force. They gave me over 200 careers to choose from. Careers that can really take me somewhere. In computers, electronics, communications. The Air Force is even picking up most of the tab for college. And I'll tell you, the Air Force lifestyle is something else. So why don't you give it a shot and get going with your future? You'll be serving your country and yourself in the Air Force.
Oh, that was neat. Just kind of wiped me down there. Welcome back to the end of Up Your Alley. Right now, I'd like to bring up Ed Kane Sr. He bowled a 181 for real, without a handicap. So you lost, but you were our top qualifier so far in the Tournament of Champions.
Is that right?
You got a chance at that Toronto trip.
That's great. I'd like to go to Toronto.
But we got 5 more months of taping, so someone could surpass that.
That's have to take my chances, I guess.
That would have qualified you for the last tournament, though, so you probably still have a good chance.
That's good. That's good. I had a good time.
Still, anybody, you still want to say hello to your son yet?
Yeah, hi, son. Hope you're having a good time.
There you go. Right now, you receive a USA Today 1988 All-Star fan ballot for the All-Star game, which will be played in Cincinnati this year, and 6 free games of... Hang on a minute. 3 games on this and 3 games on that. Games of bowling here at Garden Lane.
Great. That's wonderful.
Well, thanks for being on the show. Ed Kane, Sr., our first qualifier in that tournament. Right now, let's bring up Mike Lascow. He bowled a 183 at that 37-bit handicap, but just slammed that door there in the last 3 frames. Congratulations, Michael.
Thank you.
How'd you do it?
I just finally found my lane and my line on the alley in the 8th frame.
So at the beginning, the oil started to affect you, but then you found your line, and that was it.
Yeah, basically.
You're going to receive prizes from Tails and Tapes, King Cone, Geppetto's, and you'll get to come back next week if you'd like. Would you like to?
Sure, I'll come back next
Either
week.
that or you can take door number 2, which is right there, and your car's parked outside there.
Nah, I'll come back next week. Thanks.
Well, thanks for bowling on the show, Mike. Is anybody you would like to say hello to from Chicago?
I already said hello to everyone.
You sure?
Yeah, going to spoil them, say hello to them twice.
They might think that they're like real good friends of you.
Right, wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, thanks, Mike. See you later. I shook his hand twice. He's a better man than I am. Well, from everybody here. Oh, we're going to give the P.O. Box. It's a local address, ladies and gentlemen. Post Office Box 447, Garden City, Michigan, 48135. That's Post Office Box 447, Garden City, Michigan, 48135. If you'd like to be on up your alley, drop us a line and give us your name, address, city, state, and your bowling average and your phone number in there, and we'll contact you. Or come right up here to the Garden Lanes in Garden City on Warren Road, just east of Middlebelt, and we'd be more than happy if you would just ask Karen at the desk for a sheet, sign it up, and leave it at the bowling alley with them, and we'll contact you one way or another, and we'll get you on here, I promise. So for everyone on the crew, we have the newly wed Mike Avis, and Emil Mahoney, and Dan York, and Jim Ray, our scorekeeper. I'm Kevin Kramitz. Good night from Garden Lanes.